Hello, everybody.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Uncle Martin.
Hi.
Where's Patty?
I believe she's up in her room.
Patty, I'm home.
I'll be right down.
This is great. The Magnetic Man and the Electrodynamic Monster are gonna fight an ultrasonic duel over the Subterranean Lady.
I'd hate to see their electric bill. Patty!
Somehow, Patty's seconds seem like hours.
Watch this. Patty, you're $25 richer today.
$25 richer? You raised my allowance.
No, but you remember the 25 shares of stock that I bought you for your birthday?
Sure. McGregor Elevator Company.
Don't tell me elevator went up.
It went up another point today, and that makes a total of 5 points since I bought it.
That's wonderful. You've made $125, Patty. $125, and I didn't even have to do anything.
Well, it did help a little to have a shrewd father who's got business know-how.
Yeah, you do look a little like Bernard Baruch. As a younger man, of course.
Ross, don't push your luck.
How long has this been going on? It's an instant gold mine.
Patty, if you have any notion of investing in the stock market, you can just forget it.
Oh, I'm not going.
McGregor Elevator could just as easily have gone down 5 points. And then you'd have been $125 poorer.
Yeah, I know that, but
And before you ship all your money to Wall Street, you owe me $2 from yesterday.
don't worry. I think Patty is trying to assure us that she's not going to buy any stock. That's right. I'm going to sell it.
You're going to sell your stock in McGregor Elevator?
No, I'm going to sell stock in me. Patty Lane Incorporated.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
The meeting of the Board of Directors of Patty Lane Incorporated will now come to order. The secretary will please read the minutes of the last meeting. Since there was no last meeting, there will be no minutes. And we don't have a secretary anyway, so let's just come to order. Patty, what are you trying to say? Order. That's the way all big corporation meetings start.
Look, Patty, how can we be a board of directors when we don't even know what we're directing?
Well, I'm coming to that. I am capitalizing Patty Lane Incorporated at 200 shares of stock.
How much a share?
$1. Just think. For $5, you can get in on the ground floor of a financial empire.
Something tells me if we get in on the ground floor, we're going to get off at the basement.
99 shares will be for sale to the public, and I will retain 101 shares. Where are you going to get enough money to pay for all that stock? I don't need any money to pay for it. As founder of Patty Lane Incorporated, I am entitled to it for the use of my name.
For the $2 you owe me, you can use my name.
Order. I am the president, and I have the right to control the company by being the majority stockholder. Any questions? Yes. You still haven't told us what kind of a business this is going to be. Exactly what are we selling? Patty Lane.
Are you sure there's a demand for it?
What we are selling are my creative talents and ability. We'll just start with one product naturally, and then we'll branch out like any other big corporation. That's called diversification.
I've got an idea for a product. Why don't we work on the food angle?
Good thinking, R.H. Habit forming. Gets used up quickly. Very good. Now let's see. Teenagers make up a big part of the buying public. What foods do teenagers like best?
Pizzas.
Pizza. Mama Patty's Pizzas. Nah. Somehow it doesn't sound Italian enough.
You could change your name to Tony.
What about preserves? I have a lovely recipe for apricot jam. Mother Patty's preserves. Hey, I like that. And what teenager doesn't like apricot jam?
My favorite, strawberry.
All right, we'll vote on it. All those in favor of apricot jam, say aye. Aye. Aye.
I'll stick with strawberry.
Overruled. Motion is carried. We are now going to see financial history being made. Patty Lane Incorporated. We are now on the big board.
Good. Can we leave?
The proper procedure in a corporation meeting is to move that we adjourn.
Okay. Can we adjourn and then leave?
No. We have one more piece of business on the agenda. As members of the board of directors, you should show your faith in the company by becoming stockholders yourselves. Kathy? Oh, I think I could manage 5. Ah, very good. Richard?
3, I guess.
3? That's all the faith you've got?
No, that's all the money I've got.
All right. I'll put you down for 5, and you can give me the other $2 when you get your allowance. Ross?
Put me down for 2, and then you can pay for it with the $2 you owe me.
Okay. That's 12 down and 87 to go. Okay. Now get out there and SELL. Sell!
And the stock only costs $1 today. But next week it could be worth $1.50, $1.75, $2. Who knows?
I'll buy 2 shares. I've always wanted to be a speculator.
2 shares, Maggie. And believe me, you won't be sorry.
Put me down for 3. All I've got to lose is my life savings.
Bruce, 3.
The same for me. It's only money.
I'll take 2, but I'll have to go without lunches this week.
Oh, don't worry about that. With the money you make from this investment, you'll be able to have your lunches catered.
So how many shares of this blue chip stock do you want to start out with? 15, 20, 25?
I never thought Patty would go through with this. You gotta give her credit.
30, 35?
Kathy's apricot jam is delicious.
You said it. Can I put you down for 40 then?
It'll be valuable experience for the kids. Give them a good background in economics.
45?
Imagine, Patty, a corporation.
50. Do I hear 50?
It's wild, Kathy. You've outdone yourself.
Hey, cut that out. You're eating up all the profits.
I'm afraid I can't take all the credit. The recipe was originated by King George III's kitchen staff. Hey, that gives me a great idea for a slogan. The jam of the kings and the king of the jams. We'll put that on the labels. Now that we've got all these samples, we've got to get out and create a huge demand for them. How can we create a huge demand with just 6 little jars of jam? Just leave it to your prez. Oh, look, Sammy, all I'm asking is that you take 2 jars of Mother Patty's preserves on approval.
Patty, you're wasting your time. Nobody's going to pay money for this.
Oh, you never know. Just try it. I'll be back tomorrow.
Hi, Sam. I'll have a strawberry delight with pistachio and cherry. Speaking of gourmet food, is this Mother Patty's preserves I see?
Yes, but she's going to pick them up tomorrow.
I'll take all you've got.
You'll take them? You mean you'll buy them?
All you can get.
I'll take this loaf of bread. And what kind of jam do you have?
Oh, we have a special on grape jam. 2 for $1.
What's that jam everyone's been talking about?
Oh, my grape jam. 2 for $1.
No, Mother somebody's... Oh, there it is. Mother Patty's preserves. I'll take all you've got.
All right.
All right, make it an even $1. Thank you. Can I help you?
My mother sent me for some Mother Patty's preserves.
Sorry, we're fresh out.
But you had 2 jars. You mean somebody bought them?
We don't give them away, Sonny.
Was it a teenager?
No, Mrs. Market, one of my studies from down the street.
My gosh! Somebody really bought them!
Boy, Patty, you're sure climbing.
I wouldn't be surprised if we declared our first dividend before long. Here, I just bought these from the Gypsy Tea Room. Yeah, I know. They just called in their order for a dozen more. Oh, and the delicatessen wants 2 dozen. Business is booming.
If we boom any more, we're gonna be broke. We're selling those sample jars for 25 cents apiece, and we're buying them back at 40 cents apiece.
And then there was the money we used for the sample batch. So we chalked that up to operating expenses. And by the time we fill these orders, the profits will be pouring in.
As a stockholder, I'm delighted to hear that.
Hi, Popo. Did you see our latest quotation?
All the other stocks are down, but Patty's up to 1 5/8.
Yeah, it's about a 60% profit. Yeah, on paper, of course.
And we have an order for 6 dozen jars, and that's just a beginning.
I'm glad to hear that, fellow stockholders. Of course, first you have to purchase the supplies. You know, I mean like the ingredients for the jam. And the jars. And, of course, the distribution costs. Not to mention the overhead.
I suppose it's a case of having to spend money in order to make money, right? Wrong. If we're shrewd, we don't have to spend money. But how could...
Please, girls, be careful how you handle the merchandise.
Mr. Fleming?
Yes? What can I do for you?
Oh, what can we do for you? I am Patty Lane, president of Patty Lane Incorporated, and this is one of my directors, Kathy Lane. How do you do? Mr. Fleming, this is your lucky day.
Look, Miss Lane, be careful. You might break...
Your jar is being considered as the official glassware for Mother Patty's Preserve, the jam of the kings and the king of the jam.
That's not plastic, you know.
Oh, yes, I know. Notice its distinctive quality. Not round like other jars, but square. Yes, I think it would be very suitable. As I always say, you can't put quality jam in a cheap jar. Yeah. Mr. Fleming, you can send us 6 dozen jars.
Good, I'll write up the invoice.
Invoice, Mr. Fleming? Invoice?
Please!
When we are prepared to announce to the world that the Fleming Bottle Company are our official glass makers?
Well, 6 dozen jars isn't a very loud announcement.
Well, that's just a beginning. Yeah. Mr. Fleming, I am prepared to offer you 15 shares of stock in Patty Lane Incorporated. In exchange for the jars. 15 shares? Patty, you can't... You're right. That's too much. 10 shares. And that is my final offer.
I don't know much about Wall Street.
Oh, but you do know about Easy Street, Mr. Fleming. And that's exactly where Patty Lane Incorporated is going to put you. Yes, it's been a very active stock. Future orders are already streaming in.
Well, I'll talk to my stockbroker about it.
Mr. Fleming, if Henry Ford came to you with the automobile, would you want to see your stockbroker? Or Edison with the electric light? You are in at the birth of a dynasty. Is it a deal?
It's a deal.
Oh, Mr. Fleming, you should be more careful how you handle our merchandise. Just look at the way I'm soaring. At this rate, I'll be able to merge with a larger corporation.
Who would buy us out?
I'll buy them out.
According to my records...
You're out of order. I didn't recognize you.
Why? Do I look different?
If you want the floor, you have to raise your hand. Chair recognizes Richard Harrison.
According to my records, the number of outstanding shares is 240.
That's great. Patty, we were capitalizing our stock at 200 shares. That means we've sold 40 more shares than we have. How could that happen?
Maybe while you were out trading shares for the jars, the apricots, and the sugar, Ross and I were busy selling shares.
Yeah, we all goofed.
240 shares.
What do you think?
I think we're all under arrest.
Hello? Anybody home? Hi.
Hello, darling.
What are you all dressed up for?
Oh, you're taking me out to dinner.
I am.
Oh, the kitchen is out of bounds for me. See, Mother Patty has gone into preserve production.
That I've got to see.
Hi, Papa. Come to watch the wheels of industry turning?
I'm very impressed.
I think we're really quite well organized.
Say, did you manage to work out your surplus stock problem?
Uh-huh. I decided to give up 40 of my shares, and then it balances out okay.
Good. Good. I'm glad to see you worked it out in such an unselfish manner.
Oh, I didn't mind. I still have 61 shares, and that's more than anybody else.
Now I know why you're known as the she-wolf of Wall Street. Well, I'll see you later.
We'd better get started, Patty. The jam takes an hour to cook. A whole hour? Can't we do it any faster than that? Not when you use dried apricots. Oh, this is supposed to be a modern corporation. We have to be efficient. It still has to cook an hour. Not if you use a pressure cooker. Oh, my recipe doesn't say anything about... Of course not. That was hundreds of years ago. They didn't even have pressure cookers. Well, I've never made it any other way before. Oh, well, you're going to now. This is the space age. Here's Mom's. I'll go over and get some more from some of the other stockholders. Now, this is what I call mass production. I've never made so much jam at one time before. I hope I figured these measurements right. Maybe I should have traded some shares for a computer.
You don't need a computer. Kathy got an A in math. Where do you want me to put these?
Oh, in the oven. That's the way we sterilize them in mass production. Aren't you filling them a little too high? One of the secrets of success is to get the maximum capability out of your equipment. Here, let's have another refill.
Where do I put these labels?
Oh, ask Patty.
Patty, where are these... Patty, the labels go on the outside of the jam, not the inside.
Thank you.
Isn't it time for the jam to be done?
Yeah, any second now.
I gotta leave soon. My father only gave me 2 hours to be a big business tycoon, and then I gotta go do my homework.
It's been 30 minutes, Patty.
Seems like 30 years.
There it is, folks. The jam's done. From now on, the stock of Patty Lane Incorporated skyrockets.
It's skyrocketed, all right.
Oh, welcome to the 4th of July.
Our mass production is a mass mess.
Oh, you better clean it up before your mother and father get back.
How are we gonna fill our orders?
We'll start all over again with new supplies and chalk it up to research, so our first quarter profits will be a little less. I really don't think we should...
The jars! They're still in the oven!
Quick, put her in the water, quick! Oh, Patty, don't put them in cold water.
Gee, it smells like apricot jam.
What happened?
I think the bottom just dropped out of the market.
The meeting is now called to order. Okay, let's face the facts. We had a couple of setbacks, right?
Right.
And we've wasted all our supplies, right?
Right.
And we can't fill our orders, right?
Right.
But are we licked?
Right.
come on now. There's an old saying in big business. If at first you don't succeed...
Cry, cry again.
Can you be serious? We can start over.
Oh, come on.
Oh. Patty, sometimes it's wiser to give up. I'm not giving up. We know how we've made our mistakes, and the next time we'll avoid them.
Look, we ought to take our losses and dissolve right now. Patty, that's the way we all feel.
Well, it doesn't matter how you all feel. I'm the president, and I move we resume operations.
We say no, and we outvote you.
How can you? I'm the majority stockholder.
You have more shares than anyone else, but you don't have more shares than everyone else combined.
Well, how can you be combined? All the stockholders aren't here.
We have signed proxies from all the other kids. I mean, all the other stockholders. And they're all in favor of dissolving the corporation.
You too, Kat? I'm sorry, Patty. But it's for your own good. Ross?
I'm sorry, sis.
So, you deliberately went behind my back to urge people to betray me? To undermine Patty Lane Incorporated? We knew you'd want to pick up the pieces, and it's hopeless.
Patty, may I come in?
I guess so. You outvote me anyway.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't feel this way about it.
I'm sorry. I guess I just never thought that my own family and friends would walk out on me.
We haven't walked out on you, honey. We're right behind you.
Pushing me off the cliff.
Patty, we did it for your own good. We didn't like to see you get in any deeper.
Don't worry, I'll pay back the stockholders and Mr. Fleming and the others.
Well, that's not really necessary. I mean, it's already been taken care of. Everybody's been paid back.
How?
Well, Kathy and Richard and your brother Ross all came to me with some money they'd saved. They asked me to use it for you, to reimburse the others. So, well.
Papa? That couldn't have been enough. You paid them all back, didn't you? Said you weren't going to bail me out again, but you did.
Honey, if you learn something from it, we'll put it down to the cost of your education. And it's worth it.
Thanks, Papa.
Besides, I thought it was a wonderful idea. You just got a little overambitious.
I'll make it up to you. I'll pay you back every penny, even if it takes forever. Even if I have to work for it. How do you like that? We're up to 80 today. Says they expect it to go even higher. I made some apricot jam this afternoon, Aunt Natalie.
Good. I'll serve it with breakfast tomorrow.
Pretty big jump from last week, 70 to 80.
Why don't we do something exciting, like go to the movies?
They predict it'll hit 95 before long. A new high for the year.
70 to 95 in 1 week. Sounds like an interesting stock.
Martin, please don't get her started on that again.
But she may have something there.
And if it goes higher than that, they say that...
Patty, what's the name of that stock?
You say something?
Yeah, I just asked you what the name of the stock that's doing so well.
What stock? I'm reading the weather report.
Anybody for the movies?
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh They walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of.
Hello, Uncle Martin. He's here.
Dad's here! Hooray! Hi, Papa.
You're here.
Yes, that seems to be the general consensus. Yeah, I feel like I've walked into the middle of a reception committee for the Beatles. Now, what's going on?
We couldn't wait for you to get home. Patty got an invitation to a school dance on the 25th.
Well, congratulations.
It's formal.
I see. That means you need a new dress. How do the fathers get along who aren't multimillionaires like me?
You wanted to look beautiful, don't you?
Well, of course I want her to look beautiful, but every time I turn around, we're buying her a new dress.
This is a very special dance, Uncle Martin.
Name one that isn't, Kath.
Papa, do you remember you once told me that you always wanted us to be able to really communicate? And if I ever wanted something badly and you turned me down, that I should say to you, it's important to me?
Yes?
It's important to me.
Okay, honey, you got it.
Thanks, Papa.
Now tell me about this great dance.
Oh, it's just about the biggest event of the year. You invite your best fella.
She'll be staying out real late. And I mean real late.
Oh, how late?
Oh, maybe till 1 or 2 in the morning.
1 or 2 in the morning? Did you approve of that?
In this case, yes.
Well, yeah, I suppose it's all right if you're chaperoned.
Oh, there won't be any chaperones.
Did you know that?
Yes, but it's all right.
Well, I suppose you're right. We don't have to worry about Richard.
Oh, I won't be going with Richard.
Now, wait a minute. If you think that we're going to let you stay out half the night with some strange boy, forget it.
Oh, but Papa...
No, Patty, and let's not discuss it. We just stopped communicating. And I'm not going to change my mind.
But I've known him all my life. He's reliable and handsome and intelligent. He's the living end.
He is, huh? Well, who is this paragon of virtue?
You. It's the father-daughter dance.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
I've never seen Patty so excited. She hasn't stopped talking about the dance all week.
Say, now, what about Kath? Couldn't I take her?
Well, I suggested it to her, but she said she wants it to be Patty's night. Kathy has her own date.
Gee, you know, it is a kind of a thrill having a daughter old enough to take to a dance.
Why, you'll be the handsomest couple there.
Those steaks smell great.
Yeah, they're almost ready. Hey, what's that for?
I'm just proud of you.
You mean because I make such great steaks?
Because you're such a wonderful father.
Uh-huh.
You know, a lot of fathers in the class aren't even coming to the dance.
Why not?
Oh, they're too busy. Guess they don't know how much it means to the kids.
Maybe they really can't make it, Patty.
Well, I feel sorry for them. I can't wait to do the Hully Gully with you.
The Hully Gully?
Yeah.
I'm not as young as I look.
Oh, come on, it's easy. I'll teach it to you. Come on, Papa.
I better get this out of here.
Wait a minute.
Got a minute, Martin?
Oh, come on in, Henry.
want to talk to you about the Publishers Convention in Chicago Friday.
How long will you be gone?
I won't.
But you're making the keynote speech.
Not anymore. My wife has booked us on a Caribbean cruise. It's our 15th wedding anniversary, and I can't say no to her. We haven't had a vacation together in 15 years.
What's this?
The keynote speech for the convention. Better get ready to fly to Chicago. Give it everything you've got.
What's the date of that convention?
It's this Friday, the 25th.
The 25th? I'm afraid I can't go.
Why not?
Well, you see, there's this father-daughter dance at Patty's school, and I promised her
You
that
can take her out dancing some other time. I'll have Miss Harvey book you on the noon plane.
Yeah, but Henry...
Yes?
Well, it would really be better if you could get somebody else to go. Now, Al Marcus is very good at making
If I
speeches.
wanted Al Marcus to go, I would have sent Al Marcus. This is very important for the Chronicle. And it won't do you any harm, either.
Patty's going to look so beautiful.
I'm sure she will. Well, hello, darling.
Hello, Uncle Martin.
Hi.
You're home early.
Yeah, I have something to tell Patty.
You're making plans for the dance. Oh, that's sweet.
Well, it's not exactly sweet.
Your dress shirt came, and wait until you see what Patty bought today. You don't have to wait. Look.
Good evening, Papa.
Gee, Patty, that's beautiful.
Do you really like it?
Oh, yeah, I love it. You look so grown up.
Doesn't she?
Patty, you did say that this dance is on Friday the 25th, didn't you?
Yep. It's my red letter day. Poor Sue Ellen. Her father's flying to some bankers' convention and won't be there. She's so mortified she stayed out of the malt shop all week. She can't face the other kids.
Well, I'm sure her father couldn't help it, dear.
Well, that's right. Sometimes circumstances come up where you're trapped.
Yeah. But when it comes to a choice between something else and your own child, there's not much excuse, is there?
Well.
Papa, there's going to be this big reception in the auditorium before the dance. I'm on the reception committee. You'll get to meet all the other fathers. Then we go into the gym to dinner. I help plan the menu myself. We have a choice of meat or fish. I even arrange for artichokes because you love them. After dinner, we dance. I'm on the dance committee. Wait till you hear the band. We got Marty Morton and his Marvelous Maniacs. He plays at the Ambassador Room.
He does.
That's the wildest place in town.
Patty, you've never been to the Ambassador Room, have you?
You can't get in without a bank book.
You know what? I'm going to take you there. It'll be just the two of us.
You mean it?
I certainly do. It'll be the greatest night of your life.
Are we invited?
No, sir. Just Patty and me.
Did you hear that? When are we going?
When I get back from Chicago, where I'm delivering the keynote speech at the Publishers Convention, which is why I can't come to your dance on Friday.
Oh, Martin.
You see, it just came up this afternoon, and I tried to talk Anderson out of it, but I couldn't. Now, don't worry, Patty. I'll make it up to you. We'll go to the Ambassador Room, and we'll dance...
I don't want to go to the Ambassador Room.
Oh, please understand, honey.
I do understand. Excuse me. I'll go talk to her.
Oh, Martin.
Well, I hated to do that to her, but I can't help it.
This dance is such a big thing to her.
Well, the trip is a pretty big thing, too. I mean, actually, it's quite an honor having Anderson ask me to take his place.
Congratulations.
Boy, I wish everybody would stop treating my work as though it were some kind of a hobby. It does pay our bills, and I can't jeopardize my job to go to a dance.
Of course not. Excuse me.
I'm sure your father couldn't help it, Patty. You saw how disappointed he was. These things happen sometimes. I've been bragging to all the kids about how he was going to be there and how handsome he was going to look. There will be other dances. I've never been to a dance with my father. You don't know how much it meant to me. Didn't mean a thing to him. Of course it did. Has he ever broken a promise to you before? No. No, he hasn't. You know something, Kat? Papa's never broken a promise to me before in his life. Do you know what that means? What? He's gonna take me to that dance. Patty, he just told you why he can't. You're the one who's always talking about the power of positive thinking. Yes, but do you remember when your father promised you he'd come over here from Europe to visit with you for Christmas? And everybody said he couldn't get here? But you knew he would? Yes. You never gave up. You believed in it, and it happened. Patty, all it takes is a little faith. If I can't have faith in my own father, who can I have faith in? I've got to go apologize to Papo. Good luck. Papo?
Patty, I know how you feel.
I feel wonderful.
You do?
You bet I do.
Well, I can't tell you how much better that makes me feel. You know, I knew you'd understand.
Oh, I do. Now.
And I meant it about the ambassador room. We'll go there.
That won't be necessary.
Oh, but I want to take you out dancing.
You will. Bye.
Bye.
What happened?
Oh, well, newspaper man developed certain instincts about the way people behave. I knew Patty wouldn't stay upset for long.
Well, I'm so relieved. I was afraid she'd be terribly hurt.
Well, it takes a man to understand the psychology of a woman.
Bullseye! That's another game. That's $10,000 you owe me. Try for double or nothing. Are you sure you're not using a crooked dartboard?
Your father's leaving. Do you want to say goodbye?
Oh, sure. Patty, promise me you won't get upset. What's there to get upset about? He's not leaving. Because I positively know that my father is taking me to the father-daughter dance tonight.
You will take care of yourself, won't you?
Now, don't worry. And I'll phone you from Chicago. Well, I'm on my way, Patty.
Are you?
Maybe you could join Kathy on her date tonight.
Oh, that won't be necessary.
Well, the next father-daughter dance, I'll be there.
I know you will.
Well, I mustn't keep the plane waiting. I'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Martin. Patty, I am really very proud of you. You behaved like a very understanding adult.
Let's face it, I'm not a kid anymore. Well, I've got to get back upstairs. I'm $10,000 ahead.
Meat, vegetables, fruit, juice, milk, eggs, and popcorn. Isn't Patty coming down?
Yes, she's getting dressed.
Why does it take girls so long to get dressed? Boy, when I'm grown up, I'm gonna give my date 3 minutes, and if she's not ready, I just go on alone.
You'd better plan on going a lot of places alone. Did she make a date with Richard for this evening?
No. She said she already had a date.
With whom?
Her father. Do I look all right?
Well, you look lovely, darling, but where are you going?
To the father-daughter dance.
Hello? Oh, hello, Martin. Yes, she's right here. It's your father.
I told you.
He's phoning from Chicago.
It's really been bad, huh?
Patty hasn't talked to anyone since Friday night.
I don't understand it. When I left, she was so cheerful.
She kept waiting for fate to step in and send you to that dance with her.
Hello, darling.
Good evening, Father.
Well, I'm back. How are you?
Just fine. Thank you.
The convention went very well. I was the hit of the evening. You remember what I promised you about the ambassador room? Well, next Friday night, you and I...
Thank you, but I'd rather not.
Why not, Patty?
Well, you see, I've talked to some of the kids who've been there, and they say it's a big drag, and I don't think you'd like it very much. I'd simply hate it. Thank you anyway, Father. If you'll excuse me, I have an awful lot of homework to do.
Oh, boy is right.
She's really deeply hurt. I had no idea that... Well, of course, there's nothing I could have done about it anyway. I had to go to that convention.
Oh, I know you did, darling. And Patty'll know it, too. Just give her a little time. A young woman doesn't like to be rushed.
You just gave me an idea. I know exactly how to snap Patty out of this.
How?
Well, it's the oldest technique in the world, but it always works.
Flowers for Miss Patty Lane.
Oh, I'll take them for her. Thank you. Flowers for you, Patty. Me? That Richard. He shouldn't throw his money around like that. Are they from Richard? No. To Patty, the most understanding daughter in the world. Love, Papa.
Candy for Miss Patty Lane.
Thank you. To sweeten up your day. Love, Papa.
Package for Miss Patty Lane.
Thank you, Father.
It's funny, but I never realized how much I enjoyed hearing you call me Papa until you started calling me Father.
It's beautiful.
Why don't you read the card?
To wear tonight at the ambassador room. Your best date.
Well, what do you say? It would mean a lot to me.
To me, too. Oh, Papa. I feel like a new woman.
Good. Tonight, you're going to put on that beautiful formal, and you and I are going to the ambassador room where we will hully-gully the entire evening away to the music of Marty Morton and his marvelous Maniacs.
Papa, you're the end.
That's true.
You know something? This is the third time I've put this dress on and I haven't worn it anyplace yet. They say the third time's the charm. Everybody at school's just drooling. Imagine having a ringside table at the ambassador room.
How the kids at school know about it?
Patty's been on the phone for the last 5 hours. All the kids who were making snide remarks because Daddy didn't go to the school dance are choking on their words. They've only read about the ambassador room. I'm going there. I can just see the maitre d'. Ah, good evening, mademoiselle. Monsieur, have you a reservation? No? Oh, I'm so sorry. Ah. Un moment. Mademoiselle, are you not Miss Patty Lane? I saw you play Cleopatra at the Brooklyn Heights High School. It was nothing. Ah, you were magnifique. Oh, this is a very great honor. Allow me to give you and your escort a ringside table. Mama, this is the happiest night of my life. I'm sorry I acted like such a baby. I should have known Papa would make it up to me. This is 100 times better than any old school dance. Where's Papa?
I think he's getting dressed.
Oh, I guess I'm ready. I better go get him. Thanks. Bye, Kath. I'm glad everything turned out so well.
So am I, but I wouldn't want to go through it again.
Neither would I.
How long ago did it start? Was there any official word from the truce team? Uh-huh. All right. Now, I want you to find out when the shooting started and who started it. The whole works. And try to keep a line open to Kurdistan, at least until they overrun the telephone office there. And have Howard dig up all the background information in our files. Also, I want you to find out whether the rebels have captured the general and whether the government buildings have been taken over yet. And tell Otto to get set to run an extra, and I'll be down there in about 15 minutes. Oh, yeah, I want a full-page spread, plenty of pictures. I think if we move fast, we can get on the street before the Record does. Now, I'm counting on you to handle everything until I get there. Right. Oh, and would you see if you can round up some of the day crew and have them stand by? All right, fine. Thanks, Pete.
Papa.
Patty.
You're gonna hate me.
Listen, honey.
Papa, I can't go to the ambassador room with you tonight.
What?
You see, tonight's the night of the big basketball game, and I forgot all about it. I already have a date with Richard.
You have a date.
Please don't be too unhappy. Maybe we can go to the ambassador room another night. I just can't break my date with Richard. He turns into a regular green-eyed monster.
Well, can't have anything like that happen, can we? All right, honey. Listen, as long as you're going out with Richard, maybe I'll take a run on down to the Chronicle for a little while. They might just need me down there. And, I'll see you later.
Thanks, Papa. Bye.
Bye.
You don't really have a date, do you?
Well, you won't say anything to him, Mom, will you?
Not a word.
Thanks. It would have just killed him if he had to break another date with me.
What are you going to do?
I guess I'll call Richard and see if he can find a formal basketball game.
Oh, thanks, honey. Listen, I better check the stakes. Hey, how was that basketball game last night?
Wonderful. Yes, it was a very exciting game.
Who won?
Brooklyn Heights High. It was a tie.
I liked your story in the Chronicle, Martin.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we picked up a Pulitzer Prize for that.
Wouldn't that be exciting?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll say, where'll we put it?
I think maybe we just give it to Patty.
Do you mean you knew about last night?
I told you a newspaper man has pretty good instincts about people. Honey, I have a great idea. Tonight, why don't you put on your formal? We'll go on
Oh, no.
Here's Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Everything comes downstairs, but nothing goes back up.
Why am I stuck with it?
Ross, you have got to learn to take things back up to your room, dear. You make us all look like messy livers.
Messy livers. Sounds like a new dish.
Okay, but what about Patty? She's the real living room litter.
Oh, I'm ready to pull her over to the curb the minute she comes down the stairs.
Is this enough? I'll need an escort to get me back to my home field.
Kathy, I ran into one of your school teachers today, Miss McClintock.
Huh?
And she tells me she thinks you ought to be voted Student of the Year. And she thinks you will.
That'd be wonderful.
Well, you deserve it.
Thank you, Aunt Natalie.
We're all very proud of you.
I'm not.
Now what's that supposed to mean?
She's setting a bad family example. Now I'll be expected to be Student of the Year. You make it tough on a poor little kid who just wants to remain a normal dope.
Come on, Ross. I'll be your fighter escort and get you back home.
Hi, what a short Santa Claus.
Laugh all you can. You're next.
Oh, Patty!
Yeah? Oh, Mama, I can't take them up now. Richard is coming to pick me up.
You know, you're improving, Patty.
I am?
You're thinking up excuses before I ask you to do something.
Oh.
Here, this just sort of floated down from your room.
Mom, Richard really is coming to pick me up.
I called first.
You see?
Honey, at least you can take the sun lamp up now.
Mama, I like it there. You see, I use it to dry my hair while I'm on the telephone. And besides, it looks very nice there, like a regular lamp.
If this were a barber shop, it might look like a regular lamp. Oh, honey, you can take these things up while you're standing here arguing about it.
Mama, please, I have got to get to the shake shop to study.
At the shake shop.
Yeah, Rich and I always study at the shake shop. You wouldn't want me to flunk shake shop, would you? Hi, Rich.
What kept you so long?
Oh, my mother had a lot of things for me to do. Come on.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Patty, the habits we form when we're young are very important.
You know something? I can't figure out how my case got to the Supreme Court so fast. I didn't even know I was on trial.
You're not on trial, darling. It's just that whenever your mother and I ask you to do something, we get evasion instead of action.
We're wondering if it's the same at school.
Hey, I feel like I picked up the plague.
Well, you have. The put-it-off plague. Happily, there's a simple solution.
Tell me I'm simple.
I wish I'd said that.
All right. You take that same wonderfully wild energy that you spend evading things and you redirect it to doing things. Let me give you an example. There's a copy boy down at the paper who's on his way up. You know why? Because every time someone asks him to do something, he says, can do. No problem, no sweat. Now that boy is going places. You get what I mean?
Yeah. You'd rather have a can-do copy boy than a no-can-do daughter.
Patty, think about this.
The point is, Patty, that the boy's attitude is refreshing and inspiring to everyone. Now, instead of taking a negative attitude, the secret is to say yes to life. You see?
Without even realizing it, your cousin Kathy does.
What do I do, Aunt Natalie? Say yes to life. I do? Yeah. Without even realizing it. You're serious, aren't you, Papa?
You bet I am.
Okay. Instant transformation. Can do, Patty.
Good for you, darling. Now then, since this has turned into a family meeting...
What meeting?
The one you're in. Go ahead.
My women's club meets here Thursday, and I would like some help making the coffee cake.
Can do.
Good meeting.
It's not over.
And I would appreciate some help polishing the silver.
No problem.
Great meeting.
And the patio needs attention. Ross, I said the patio needs attention.
No sweat.
Oh, Patty, it's all right if the copy boy uses that expression, but,
Oh, okay, Papa. No perspiration.
Laugh it up, Kathy. We're off the hook.
Oh, you know something? I feel better already.
Patty, you're a wonderful girl to make an about face like this.
It was nothing. Oh, there's Richard. See ya. Bye.
Bye, slave.
Hi, Rich.
Hi, Patty. You ready to heel and toe it to the water hole?
Yeah.
I presume that means you're walking to the shake shop.
Oh, hi, Mr. Lane. It must be great to have a father who speaks English.
Yeah.
Richard, you know, you often remind me of a young Great Dane, but just what are you doing?
Well, I have to decide what to order Patty at the shake shop.
I don't understand.
Well, haven't you noticed? Your daughter's been wearing fruit-flavored perfume.
Fruit-flavored perfume?
It's the latest thing, Papa.
It wouldn't do to order a cherry picker free flight flip if she's wearing wild grape.
Oh, no, of course not.
And the scents would definitely clash. So I have to determine here. Because the shake shop, everything smells the same. Orange.
Tangerine.
Can't you take her word for it?
Sure. But it wouldn't be as much fun.
Good night, Richard. Teenagers. I wish I'd been one. Well, there's no denying you came to the right person for help.
Oh?
Yeah, our daughter's all straightened out. She's volunteered to help you with the cake, polish the silver, manicure the patio.
She certainly did.
Yes, indeed.
And left without doing anything.
As your advisor, I have called this meeting to select a new treasurer. Arthur, as you know, has enlisted. Of course, if anybody would like to volunteer...
Can do.
You, Patty? You really want to volunteer for this job?
No problem.
Well, unfortunately, Arthur was a little bit behind in his dues collections and postings, billings, banking. Well, Arthur was effective on the football field, but as a financier... You sure you want to volunteer for this job?
No perspiration.
No what?
Thank you, Miss McClintock. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Here you go, Rich.
Excuse me, Patty, but that was you that volunteered just a minute ago, wasn't it?
Certainly was.
You volunteered for drudgery?
That's right. The secret is to say yes to life, Alice. Do it sometime. Makes you feel good inside. Come on, Rich.
I don't know how soon she'll be back, Richard. She's a student representative on the Borough Beautiful Committee, you know. Volunteered.
I know. She also volunteered to organize our Shake It or Leave It Club.
Shake It or Leave It Club? I'm afraid to ask what that is.
Well, it's a dance club, Mr. Lane. We're going to hold our meetings at the Shake Shop.
Hello, Richard. Where's Patty? My club women will be here Thursday. The coffee cake isn't made. The silverware hasn't been polished, and the weeds in the patio are feeling very secure.
Well, she's probably pacing herself.
She's taking on too much.
Yeah. She'll be burned out before she's 20. And I don't want to drudge for a wife.
We'll worry about that when the time comes. And it hasn't. Now, meanwhile, you're both forgetting a truism. The more work you assume, the more work you can do. So relax.
If this is tiring you, Richard.
Oh, it isn't that, Mrs. Lane. It's that I haven't had much sleep lately. Those committees are killing me.
Committees?
Yeah. Patty sets it up, and I carry out the work. I must have been up to 11 o'clock last night ringing doorbells.
Was she ringing doorbells?
No, she's too busy.
Busy doing what?
Well, you know, being the brains.
That shouldn't take her too long.
Where is everybody? Hello? I'm home. Hey, look at all of you.
Hello, darling. Home is where the weeds are growing.
Huh?
Well, why don't you relax with us, Mr. Lane?
Relax.
This has to be against the child labor law.
Ask your sister. I think she volunteered to write the original law.
So where is she?
Search me. Is there a neighborhood volunteer fire department? She may have joined that.
Don't forget this.
Well, now, just a minute. You should not be doing Patty's work for her. Can't anybody around here say no?
It's pretty hard to say no to her, Mr. Lane. You know how Patty is when she flies. She's marching along, conquering the world like Alexander the Great. And it's up to us peasants to execute for the great executor.
Well, let's all remember an old truism. The more work you assume, the more work you can do.
Look, Natalie, do you think it's a good idea for me to bend over weeding like that? I mean, my sacroiliac might pop.
Oh, I don't think it'll pop. Think positive. You know, can do.
Well, Patty's really doing a great job. We mustn't discourage her. I mean, we wouldn't want to break her spirit now that she's learning how to assume obligations. Would we?
It's so exciting, this serving selflessly. Kids at school look at me differently. They look up to me. Mr. Brewster called me in this afternoon. He said, Patty, we at Brooklyn Heights High are proud of you. Your leadership has been an inspiration to your fellow students. I salute you. Wonderful, Patty. I'd salute you, too, if I had time. How are you coming with the books? Arthur left them in pretty bad shape, huh? That's putting it mildly. Mr. Brewster also said, Patty, you keep going at this rate, and you can be the first woman president of the United States. I believe it, especially if they change the voting procedure so you can just volunteer. President Patty Lane. Maybe I should make it Patricia. Patty's a little informal. Anything you say, Madam President. President Patricia Lane. PL tells the nation. PL calls a conference of the United Planets. PL saves the universe. You are the most modest president the colonies have ever had. I'll never change, Kath. I'll never forget you, my dear, devoted cousin. I'll make you Secretary of the Treasury. Thank you, no. Secretary of Labor? That's a little more like it. And Richard? Richard. Dear, devoted Richard. First Lady? Kathy, I love you. You know something? I must love you, too.
You know, Kath, it's really nice having you studying down here with us.
Thank you. It gets kind of lonely up in our room with Patty gone all the time.
I hear when she runs out of local projects, she's going to call a meeting on the moon. They'll elect her Miss Looney.
She's wonderful. Hi, group. Just thought I'd drop by on my way to another meeting. When are you here?
You're president of the Musicians Union.
No. We just came from the Shake Shop, and there's a campaign to vote me Student of the Year tomorrow.
Student of the Year? Hey, Natalie, did you hear that?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did.
It's like a regular ground surge. The kids think Patty's the most. Can do this, can do that. I don't think there's anything they think she can. Mr. Lane, aren't you feeling well?
Oh, sure. I stand up fine, see? Congratulations, Patty.
Thanks, Papa.
Oh.
You've opened up a whole rich new life for me. A life of milling masses, stumbling aimlessly, looking for a leader. Well, off to the cheerleaders awards meeting.
You leaving so soon? I thought maybe you'd stay long enough to meet the family.
Well, we who have so much to give must put aside our personal life and give.
What do you know? Student of the year. Isn't that wonderful?
I think I'll take a walk to the library. There's a book I need. Excuse me.
What did I say?
You had no reason to know, Martin, but being student of the year means the world to Kathy. And I feel after all she's done for the school, she deserves it.
I see what you mean. Well, do you think Patty will win?
I don't. She's got a winning smile, but a losing face.
As much as we love Patty, by comparison, she is sort of a flash in the pan. I'm sure they don't know that Kathy prepared a treasurer's report.
The heck with that. Do they know I polished her silverware? I want to go to that meeting tomorrow. I'll expose her.
All right, take it easy, Ross. This calls for cool heads. It'd be terrible if Kathy didn't get her just reward.
What about mine? Like 50 cents an hour, retroactive, time and a half for overtime, old age benefits, Social Security, paid wash-up time. Just turn Patty's allowance over to me. I'll deduct it from my bill.
This is a great moment for us. We have been appointed to take charge of the Brooklyn Heights High Beautifying Project.
When you say we,
I mean all of us. Well, sure, I am chairman of the committee, but it's as I told the principal this morning. But I can't do it without all of you, the workers. What do we have to do exactly? Clean up the school grounds. Clean up the school grounds? Yes. Now, don't think of it as a civic duty. Think of it as a civic pleasure. Brooklyn Heights High is going to be the most beautiful school in the country. And I'm going to see to it that each and every one of you gets his own personal inspection kit. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I have another meeting.
Patty, I don't know where you get the energy to do all this.
You know something, Richard? Sometimes I surprise myself. Oh. Congratulations! We have been selected to make Christmas presents for the juvenile delinquents at Danville Reformatory.
Who selected us?
I did. Oh, come on, that's a big opportunity for us. Now, Mr. Roberts said we could use the school workshop. That means you can work Saturdays, Sundays, and evenings.
Oh.
Now. Where is your school spirit? Hop to it!
You've done it again.
We've done it again. I have some wonderful news for us. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me. Thank you. We have just been appointed to march with the Volunteer Fire Department of Brooklyn Heights in a Columbus Day parade. I better give that one to Kathy. Come in.
You busy, honey?
I'm never too busy for you, Papa. What do you want done?
Well, I don't want anything done. I just wanted to talk to you.
Oh, then I am a little busy. As corresponding secretary for the Junior League, yeah?
Corresponding secretary?
Yeah.
Who's going to do the corresponding?
Well, I'm going to take the notes, and then Kathy said she wouldn't mind writing a few letters and addressing them for me, and she types much faster than I do.
Patty, you're marvelous. You know, sometimes I think of you as a beautiful, spirited, high-flying kite.
Okay, I'm a kite, but I'm also a corresponding secretary. See ya.
A way out kite, way up there on a thrilling ride. But you know, you're asking a lot of other people to keep you flying.
You're serious, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'd like to reel you in just a little bit and see if your perspective doesn't change.
Okay. Reel me in.
The kids at school are all looking up to you these days. Why? Why do you think they're looking up to you, huh?
Well, I'm not very good as a talking kite.
Well, I think it's because you've taken on a lot of jobs that they don't want to get involved in. You've become a problem broker. You got a reputation, a wonderful reputation as a doer, and that's good. The only thing is that a lot of people who love you have been doing the doing. Now, one of them sleeps right here in this room, and I'm afraid she's going to be crying herself to sleep tomorrow night.
Kathy?
Mm-hmm.
Why would she be crying?
Well, because she's been looking forward to being Student of the Year.
She has?
That's what you told your mother.
Oh, boy.
It seems that being picked as Student of the Year means as much to her as,
Being first woman president of the United States means to me.
No.
Well, I guess that election will have to wait a while, huh?
Congratulations, Patty.
Oh, thanks a lot.
What for? I hear you're a cinch to be Student of the Year.
Hi, Patty. How's it feel to be Student of the Year?
Richard, they haven't even voted yet.
Oh, I keep my ear to the ground. You're a cinch. Come on, they're starting the vote. We want to cast our ballots, don't we?
Yes, we certainly do.
Where's Kathy?
Oh, she didn't feel too well this morning. She wasn't sure if she could make it to school or not.
It's too bad. She should be here to see you elected.
Yeah.
Would you all be seated, please? Now, before we open our books, we're going to cast our votes for Student of the Year.
Patty Lane!
Mrs. Clinton, may I say a few words, please?
Victory speeches usually take place after the election.
Yes, Patty.
Well, I just wanted to tell you all what a thrill it is to have even been nominated for Student of the Year. Everyone's been calling me Can-Do Patty. And that's right, I sure can. You bring me a problem, and I'll get it done. I didn't say I'd do it, I just said I'd get it solved. Because I have a cousin named Kathy. She's the one who's been getting things solved around here. Everything that's been done around here has been done by Kathy, with all of you helping her. I've just been a lot of wind. Oh, sure, it takes wind to make the windmill go round, but it's the windmill that does the work.
Good morning, Kathy.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Murchison.
Aren't you late for class?
Well, they're having the voting for the Student of the Year.
Well, go on in.
And I thought I'd wait until it was...
Go on.
Thank you. So I think that that's the kind of person you want to vote for. Someone who's not afraid to tackle anything. Someone who's not afraid of a little work. Someone who gets the job done. I move that this class choose her by unanimous acclamation.
Well, it is passed unanimously. Is there anything you'd like to say, Kathy?
No, Miss McClintock. Except that I believe the class has made a very wise choice. What did I say? You just made your acceptance speech, Kathy. You're Student of the Year.
Hi, Richard.
I guess you heard the news.
Yeah, Kathy told us.
I wish you would have heard Patty. You sure would have been proud of her.
I've always been proud of her, Richard.
She just had that class in the palm of her hand.
I wish she'd occupy the palms of her hands with something a little more practical, like the dishes, for instance. There must be 1,000 of them out there.
Well, wouldn't your club women volunteer?
Well, they aren't expected to.
Well, where's Patty? We got to make the scene at the Waterhole. We're having a meeting of the Shake It or Leave It Club.
I wish I could join you. Actually, I haven't seen her for the last hour or so.
Good heavens!
What now?
that you, Patty?
Yeah, that's me. Can do, Patty.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are
In the shake shop. I was sitting at this very table, sharing a banana dream with Richard. And suddenly I looked up, and there he was in the phone booth. Who introduced you? Well, nobody yet. Then how do you know his name? Well, while he was in the phone booth, I happened to take a look at his briefcase. He was just transferred here from a very chic boarding school in Connecticut. How did you know that? I happened to be passing by the registrar's office this morning, and I looked up his school file. Patty, don't you think that's being a bit nosy? Kathy, when the most divine man who ever lived pops into your life, you don't just sit around. You go. Couldn't you go a little more slowly? He was born in Boston, and his folks are terribly blue blood. That was in his school file? No, that was in the social register. Kathy, you've got everything. What about Richard? Richard? Richard's very sweet, and I really like him. But when you meet someone like Woodrow Warren Caldwell,
Who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Hello there. They said the feature editor of the Bugle wanted to do a story on me. I'm Woody Caldwell.
yes, you certainly are. Hi, I'm Patty Lane, feature editor.
Where shall we start?
Well, why don't you tell me all about yourself?
Well, I was born in
Boston.
How did you know?
Oh, I just took a lucky guess.
Oh, well, then I went to day school. Don't you want to take notes?
Notes? Oh, no, I have total recall. Like an IBM machine.
You're terrific.
You're sensational. Do you have any hobbies?
Yes, I'm terribly keen on squash.
Your hobby is eating squash?
Squash. Tennis.
Oh, of course. Hi. And goodbye.
Well, hello. I'm Sue Ellen Turner.
I'm Woody Caldwell.
Isn't that funny? My father told me I'd probably run into you.
That's very
Your
funny.
father?
Yes, Dad is vice president of the First Mortgage and Trust Bank down in Wall Street.
Well, that's where Dad banks.
Yes, I know. They're great buddies.
My father's managing editor of the New York Daily Chronicle.
We must get together soon.
Where's it?
At the Brooklyn Heights Morgan Savings and Loan Association.
I'll call you.
Yeah, about this interview.
I'm afraid I have to make a class.
Oh,
Bye.
bye.
What a charming boy.
Well, I saw him first, so forget it.
You?
Yes?
My dear child, there's only one girl in this entire school with the wealth, background, and social position worthy of Woodrow Warren Caldwell III. And you're looking at her. Excuse me.
Let me get this straight, Patty. You want me to tell you all about our ancestors, huh?
That's right. Who were the Lanes, Papa? What did they do?
Well, they were mostly... Patty, why this sudden interest in genealogy?
What's something I've always wondered about?
Huh? Well, I can tell you one thing about them. You can be very proud of your forebears.
I can?
Oh, yeah. They've all been good, decent, hard-working people.
That's all?
Wasn't that enough?
Oh, sure, Papa, but... Well, weren't any of them, like, famous or distinguished or noble?
Well, let's see now. Well, it was old Joshua Lane of Brattleboro.
There was?
Yeah. He founded the first general store in Vermont.
A storekeeper.
And then there was Lieutenant Noah Lane, who fought in the Civil War.
A war hero?
Yeah. He was one of the first Union officers to be captured.
Captured? Oh, you mean in a gallant stand against the foe?
No, actually, it was in the retreat from the Battle of Bull Run.
Martin, you can spare these slacks, can't you?
Yeah, I think so. They look like they belong to Ross.
Hey, Mama, you're not going to give away my green sweater.
Oh, well, you never wear it, dear.
I know, but it's my favorite one.
Now, Patty, surely you're not going to begrudge an old sweater to the Salvation Army.
Well, not the Salvation Army. We've a new neighbor who's starting a thrift shop, Mrs. Caldwell.
Oh, okay, I guess if it's for charity. Did you say Mrs. Caldwell?
That's right.
Mrs. Woodrow Warren Caldwell?
The second was on the crest on her stationery.
Oh, she can have my sweater. She can have everything I've got.
Well, that's very generous of you, darling. Martin, can you drop these things off on your way downtown tomorrow?
Oh, that's all right, Papa. I'll deliver them to her.
Well, thanks.
Well, it's the least I can do for the deserving poor. I'll go see if I can round anything else up. Bye.
Well, what do you suppose came over her?
Mrs. Woodrow Warren Caldwell II, obviously. Who is she?
Terribly rich and social, I gather.
Well, I'll bet. I'll also bet she has a son named Woodrow Warren Caldwell III.
My dear, I'm overwhelmed. Such generosity.
Oh, it's nothing, really, Mrs. Caldwell.
Don't be so modest, my child. Some of these things are practically new.
Yes, that's our way. We like to wear things once and then just give them to some worthy cause.
Well, I'll have to send your mother a very special thank you note.
Oh.
What is your name, child?
Patty Lane.
Lane. Are you by any chance related to the Boston Lanes?
Interesting you should ask, Mrs. Caldwell. As a matter of fact, one of my ancestors, Joshua Lane, was the first man to set up credit with the Indians in Vermont.
Really?
It was sort of a pre-Revolutionary War diners club.
Really?
Yes. His great-grandson, who was General Noah Lane, was almost a big Civil War hero.
How interesting.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you again, my dear.
Well, I'd like to stay around and help if I could.
Oh, but you've done enough.
Oh, well, I'd like to rally round. Really, I would.
Well, we do need someone to make an inventory of all these things.
Wizard.
Now, just write down the name of the things we have to sell, and then we'll... Good heavens! Here comes another good Samaritan.
Bless its little heart. Oh, dear. Oh, we don't want this junk, Mrs. Caldwell.
Mom sent them, Mrs. Caldwell. I'm Sue Ellen Turner.
Oh, so you're the Turner girl. How kind of you.
I also wanted to volunteer my services.
Well, we don't need them. Thank you very much.
Oh, please, I so want to help.
Very well, dear. You can make an index of the list of our donors.
Thank you.
My. What dedication.
Social climber. Copycat. Upstart. Phony.
Girls, look who dropped by. This is my son, Woodrow.
Hi.
Woody, would you be a lamb and drive over to Mrs. Montague's? She's donating a lovely old desk.
Yes, Mother.
Well, it's a little large. I wonder if you can manage it yourself.
I'll go. Let me help.
Well, that's what I call esprit de corps. Patty.
Yes.
You better finish the inventory. You go, Sue Ellen.
Yes, Mrs. Caldwell. Shall we press on, darling?
I'll give you the address.
I haven't been able to get a hold of you all week. What's the matter with you?
Nothing, Richard.
And you're never in when I phone you. And you don't call back. Patty, is there somebody else?
Now, whatever gave you a ridiculous idea like that? Of course not. Excuse me. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Woody.
Who's Woody?
Mom wondered if you could come tonight and help address envelopes.
Tonight?
That's right.
To your house? Wizard, Woody.
I know, it's that new society boy with all the clothes. Woody Caldwell.
Mom says 8-ish.
8-ish? Rightish. Bye.
So, there was somebody else. I was right.
Yes, Richard, I'm afraid so.
But Patty, you're my girl. Till the end of time, you said.
And I meant it, Richard. I really meant it. When you meet somebody like Woodrow Warren Caldwell III.
Yeah, sure. I know he's got social position and good looks and fancy clothes. And he drives around in a jazzy foreign sports car. But aside from that, what's so special? I'm telling you straight, Caldwell. Stay away from my girl. Okay, Caldwell, if that's the way you want it. Sorry, old boy, but you asked for it.
Yes?
I'm Richard Harris. I want to see Woodrow Warren Caldwell III.
Of course, this way, please.
Thank you. Stop.
Hi, fella. What can I do for you?
My name's Richard Harrison.
Yes?
And I just wanted to say, welcome to Brooklyn Heights.
Sis, on your feet. You're invited to a party.
You opened my mail again, fiend.
It was dressed for the family from Sue Ellen's folks.
Sue Ellen? Mr. and Mrs. George Turner request the pleasure of your company at a fundraising party for the Caldwell Thrift Shop. Oh, that's Sue Ellen. She'll stop at nothing.
Patty, what does that mean? Black tie?
Black tie. Oh, no.
What's the matter?
That means it's a formal party and I don't have anything to wear. But I like that blue dress you have. Oh, that old thing. Wait till you see what Sue Ellen turns up in.
Are clothes all that important?
Well, to Woody they are. You should see how he dresses. There's only one hope. I'll just explain to Papa why he's got to buy me a fabulous new formal. Do you think he will? When he knows that my whole future happiness is at stake, what else can he possibly say?
I'm sorry, Patty. We just can't afford it.
Please, Papa.
What's wrong with that blue dress of yours? It's less than a month old.
But everybody's seen it.
Oh, it's...
Oh, could I buy a dress with my own money?
I think that's a lovely idea.
Oh, good. Then could I have an advance on my allowance? For the next 3 years?
No, you can't.
Why not, Papa?
Because you're growing up, honey, and I think it's time you learn to live within your own means.
Yes, sir. Well, at least I'll never need any more clothes.
Why?
Because I'll never be able to show my face in this town again.
It looks beautiful.
It's awful. It's charming. It's a disaster.
Now, stop that, Pat. It's a very nice little dress.
That's exactly what it is, Mom. Can you imagine what a fabulous creation Sue Ellen's gonna have on?
Oh, Mother, it's utter heaven. Patty will sink through the floor.
You know, I suppose it's rather silly. But I would much rather that you were wearing this.
Oh, Mother, that old thing was my first formal gown.
Yes, darling, I know. That's why I'm so very fond of it. Now, I suppose it'll just sit here.
Oh, Mom, I know. I'll donate it to the thrift shop.
Well, now that's a very good idea.
I'll take it over. Who knows? Maybe some poor deserving girl can use it.
$6.75. I'm dead, Kathy. Patty, be sensible. Wear the blue. No! I'll stay home first. Darn. Why couldn't I listen to Papa and learn the value of thrift? Thrift. That's it. I'll go to the thrift shop. I'm sure to find a gown there. An evening gown? Well, sure. Mrs. Caldwell's rich friends donate all kinds of things. Come on, Kathy. Take out some of the money. It's me. It is lovely.
You're lucky it came in just a little while ago.
Oh? It's just about my size, too. How much is it?
How much did you want to spend?
$6.75.
Very well. It's yours.
Oh, Kathy! I can just see the look on Sue Ellen's face when she sees me in that. I'm sorry, it's all in change, but I think it's all there. 75. I'll get that. $1, Kathy. Here.
My, you all look so pretty.
Thank you.
They should. They've been getting dressed since Tuesday.
Oh, Miss Sue Ellen. Hi there.
Sue Ellen, what a beautiful gown.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait to see yours.
Oh, yeah, as soon as I fix my hair a little bit.
Oh, Patty, the room back there.
Thank you. Come on, Kathy. Excuse us. Sue Ellen's dress is a bit much, don't you think? Yes, Patty. Come on. You know, that's typical, though. Just like this picture gallery of her. After all, it is her house. Yeah, but... Kathy! What's the matter? Look! It's just a picture of Sue. Oh, no. She's wearing my dress. She can't be. But she is, look! Christmas at home, my first formal gown. She gave it to the thrift shop. That's the dirtiest trick I've ever heard of. What are you going to do? Well, for openers, hide.
Yes, Patty's been a tower of strength to us in the thrift shop. Where is she?
Oh, she's primping, I imagine. She may never show up.
Sounds like Woody. He can spend 2 hours picking out the ultimate necktie.
Patty, be sensible. You can't stay in here all evening. Why not? Condition written.
Where's Patty?
She's, fixing her hair.
Oh. Oh, fussy old Mrs. Montague insists I hang this.
I got lost. no, that's all right. I'd like to keep it really slow.
It's no trouble. What's the matter?
Oh, I just got a sudden terrible chill.
Patty, what's wrong?
Well, nothing, Sue. Everything is absolutely fine. I'll be fine in just a few minutes. Now, why don't you just run along and take care of your guests? And I'm really having a ball, and I'll see you in a little minute.
Oh. That's Sue Ellen in her first formal gown.
Charming. A lovely child.
And she's so thoughtful. Do you know she just donated that gown to the thrift shop?
Isn't that sweet?
Patty, that's the coward's way out. Well, what do you think I am? That's nothing. Patty! Swell. Yes, Kelly, I see what you mean about that dress.
Patty! Where did you get that dress?
I had a little dressmaker who ran it up for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she does all my things.
That just happens to be my old evening gown.
That's ridiculous. There's this little old lady
Let me
who has
see
a
that
shop, and
label.
every time I want
I
a
was
nice dress,
right. So you went to the thrift shop and bought my old dress.
I did not. Well, I didn't know it was your dress. Please, Sue. Promise me you won't tell anybody. Please? Promise? Buddy, pal, friend?
Of course not. I'd be an utter monster to.
Oh, and you're not. You're kind and sweet and generous, honey.
Mrs. Caldwell wants to say hello.
Oh, she'll be right in, Mrs. Lane. This is going to be a beautiful party. Here's Patty.
Oh, good evening, dear.
Yes, that's one person's opinion.
Isn't that a lovely gown, Mrs. Caldwell?
Charming. Simply charming.
Thank you.
Oh, Woody, darling. Here's Patty.
Hi.
Isn't she a dream in that gown?
Smashing.
Oh, look who just came in.
Speaking of this dress, the most amusing coincidence.
Patty is wearing what we call the classic young lady's evening gown.
I am?
Of course. I imagine you have one too, haven't you, dear?
Yes, Mrs. Caldwell. As a matter of fact.
Yes. I see you have. You know, I have 3 nieces with all the identical evening gowns, exactly the same.
All 3 of them?
Why, of course. Every well-dressed young girl does wear one.
But...
Oh, I think the band is starting up again. Woody, you haven't danced with Patty yet.
Righto. What say, old girl?
Wizard, Woody.
They make a charming couple, don't they?
Yes. Don't they? Well, thank you very much for bringing me home, Woody. It was a fabulous party.
Wizard. Are you free next Saturday night?
Oh, I suppose I could arrange it.
I'm giving a welcome home party.
Oh, great. For who?
Ella Fortescue. She just returned from Paris.
Who is Ella Fortescue?
My girl. That's right. You'll adore her. See you 7-ish. Bye.
Bye-ish. Kathy, guess who's back in town? Ella Fortescue. Woody told me at the party tonight. He's been going with her all his life. Yeah, now he tells me. What am I gonna do? Oh, you'll survive. And then there's always Richard. After the way I treated him, he'll never talk to me again as long as I live. And I don't blame him. You know something? He's too good for me.
You're right. He is.
Richard. What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm just passing by.
Kathy phoned you. Well, I didn't think you'd mind. You're not angry. Angry? I could kiss you. Richard, I am going to fix you the most beautiful sandwich you ever saw. Turkey, chicken, cheese, ham, lime, coleslaw, pickles, mustard.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins part.
What's the matter with you? Oh. Don't ever sneak up on me like that again. Sneak up on you? Patty, what are you so nervous about? Well, you'd be nervous, too, if you were the only witness to a hit-and-run accident. You saw a hit-and-run accident? When? Just now. I was passing by McDonald's Market, and this big car came crashing around the corner, skidded up on the curb, and then ran into the front of the store window and just kept on going. It was terrible. Did you get a look at the driver's face? Did I? He had a sinister little mustache, and he wore a raincoat and a big floppy gangster hat. And he had his ma with him, a big tough-looking woman. 10 to 1 they were escaping from a big bank robbery. What did the police say? The police? When you reported the accident. Reported it? Kathy, are you out of your mind? Do you want me to wind up in a sack of cement on the bottom of the East River? I'm not going to get involved in this. Patty, you are involved. It's your duty to tell the police what you saw. That's my second duty. My first duty is to stay alive. Look, Kathy, I know how these gangsters operate. The first thing they do is rub out the witness. I'm too young to be rubbed out. All I have to do is keep quiet. Nobody saw me. And if I keep my mouth shut, there's no way they can find out that I saw them, or that I was even at the scene of the crime. What are you looking for? You know that gold bracelet I got for Christmas? The one with my initials on it? Yes. I think I lost it at the scene of the crime.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Isn't Patty going to have any lunch?
She says she's not hungry.
She all right?
With Patty, how can you tell? She sure seems nervous. I came up behind her this morning and said good morning, and she jumped 10 feet.
Who's that? Well, there's only one way to find out. Right. Open the window and ask them.
Patty, will you see who's at the front door, please?
Me? Do you want me to get it? No. No, you better stay out of this. I'll go. Say goodbye to my folks for me. Mr. McDonald.
Good morning, Patty.
Good morning.
I found your bracelet in front of my store, so I thought I'd drop by and return it to you.
Not my bracelet.
It's got your initials on it. P.L.
Well, there are a lot of PLs in the world that belong to Prudence Lewis or Paula Lomax or Penelope Lufthaven. I haven't been near... your store, Mr. McDonald, so I couldn't have dropped my bracelet there.
Good morning, Mr. McDonald.
Oh, good morning, Mrs. Lane. Mr. Lane?
Mr. McDonald?
Excuse me for barging in like this, but I found this bracelet and I
Where's
thought...
Patty's bracelet?
What do you know?
Oh, where did you find it, Mr. McDonald?
In front of my store.
Well, it was very nice of you to bring it over here.
Oh, yeah. You have no idea what you've done for me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
We were just having some coffee. Won't you join us?
Thanks, but I've got to get over to the hospital to see my daughter.
What happened to her?
A 9-pound baby. She had it just this morning.
Well, congratulations, Mr. McDonald.
She barely made the hospital in time. My idiot son-in-law was coming by the store to pick me up, and he was so nervous he skidded the car right into the store window. My daughter almost had the baby right there. But he kept going on right to the hospital.
Is she all right now?
Oh, fine. Everything's fine. Well, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, it was very nice of him.
Yes, he's a nice man. You know, it's odd that Patty didn't mention losing her bracelet.
Yeah. She didn't even recognize it when she saw it.
Who is it? Kathy. Yeah? Let me hear your voice again. Patty, will you open this door? Just a minute. What do you think you're doing? I'm in hiding. Patty, no one is after you, and no one is trying to hurt you. All you have to do is tell the truth. Look, I've got a great idea. Since you're so brave, why don't you go down and tell them that you're me and you saw the whole thing and you're not... You'll go?
Yeah.
Kathy, promise me something? Of course. If anything happens to me, marry Richard. I couldn't stand it if Sue Ellen got him. Hattie, nothing is going to happen to you. There may be a little publicity, but it won't last long. It'll all be over in no time. Now, I was supposed to meet Eddie at the library, but I'll have Ross tell him I'll see him later. Then I'll go with you to find Officer Melnick, and after you've told him what you've seen, then we can meet Eddie and Richard and go to the shake shop, or perhaps go to a movie.
Publicity?
Well, yes, the papers may pick up the story. You mean like, fearless teenager defies killer? Patty, you don't know that he's a killer. Ha! You didn't see his face. That sneaky little mustache, those black beady eyes. I'll be all over the front pages. I'm a natural-born heroine. You're a natural-born nut. Patty, this is merely a case of a hit-and-run accident where the front of a market was damaged. It is not going to make international headlines. No? Wait till they catch the mob behind it who robbed the bank and then wounded a bank guard in a running gun battle. You did see the driver's face. Would I make up a thing like that? No, I suppose not. Let's go. I don't want to miss the late edition. Who is it?
It's me, Richard.
Yeah? Do you have any identification? Patty, for heaven's sake. Well, I can't be too careful.
What do I need identification for? Is this some new game?
You'll read all about it in the newspapers, Richard. Gee, I wonder if I have time to have my hair done.
What for?
Because my picture is probably going to be on the front pages tonight. They're here! They're after me. Tell them I'm not home. I ran away and was killed in a train wreck.
There she goes, off into orbit again. What's the matter with her this time?
Oh, just a little too much imagination, Richard. Excuse me.
Hello. I'm making a survey of the neighborhood. How many teenagers live in this house?
Just me. Patty ran away and was killed in a train wreck. Goodbye. Patty was telling the truth. She is in danger.
In danger?
Patty! Patty! Patty?
What are you doing there?
Acting like a gleep, I guess. You're right, Kathy. I'm the mountain out of the molehill type. Somebody has a simple little accident and I turn it into gangsters and bank robbers. Patty, the man at the door wore a raincoat and had a little mustache. He's gone now. Yeah, but he'll be back. They never give up.
What did you do?
It's all an accident. It was a hit and run. Patty was the only witness.
Well, you can't spend the rest of your life behind the drapes.
If I go down there and testify, I'm in big trouble. I don't want to be a teenage heroine.
I think she's right.
I'll do whatever you think, Kath. Oh, Patty, I don't want to take that responsibility. I think you should talk to your father and see what he has to say. I know what he'll have to say. He'll make me go. He's all ethics. And if he says go, I'm dead. Well, perhaps we could ask his advice without telling him who is involved. Yeah. I could say to him, real casual like, Papa, what can they do to a witness who sees an accident and won't testify?
Well, that all depends, Patty. No one can force anyone to admit that he or she, that he saw something that happened. But on the other hand, there is a moral obligation involved. People have a responsibility toward one another.
Did someone you know see something happen?
Oh, kind of. It was a hit-and-run accident.
Well, then he has a duty to come forward and tell about it. What kind of a person is he?
Coward.
That sounds like Richard.
It isn't Richard.
Well, whoever he is, he's going to have to live with himself.
Oh, he doesn't mind that. As long as he lives.
Remember the Moorhead case? That little old lady who witnessed a holdup in a candy shop?
No. What happened to her?
She testified, and the next day they fished her out of the river.
Oh. Mom? Do you think I could go visit Aunt Pauline in Denver? Patty, you have to tell your mother and father what is going on. I can't. I'd be putting them in danger. This is my problem, and I've got to solve it alone. No, you don't. What do you mean? Do you know what you suggested before about my pretending that I'm you and going down there? Yeah. I'll do it. Kathy, you're one of the greats. Thanks, but I can't let you do that. Don't you worry about me. The mob has never been up against Patty Lane before. That's him. He did it. That's the man. He did it.
Objection, Your Honor. My client, known as the killer, is innocent. I would like to cross-examine the witness.
Proceed. Miss Lane, you say that you saw the defendant crash into Mr. McDonald's market and then make his escape?
Yes, sir, I certainly did.
Do you realize how dangerous it is to identify one of the mob?
I'm exceptionally brave.
There's still time to back out. You could visit your Aunt Pauline in Denver.
No, sir. It is my duty as a citizen to go through with this.
What if they gave you a new white evening dress with matching bag?
I would not be bribed.
She's the most fearless witness we have ever had in this courtroom. I want a front-page story written about her.
That won't be necessary. Second page will do.
Miss Lane, if my client was behind the wheel of a car and you were on the other side of the street, how can you be sure that it was the same man? Your Honor, there are thousands of men with mustaches. I move the charges be dismissed.
That's true. The state has no case. I have no choice but to dismiss the charges and let justice be made a hollow mockery of.
Wait! I did not identify the killer by his mustache.
How did you identify him?
By the mole on his right wrist. Your Honor, I have 20/20 eyesight.
This court finds him guilty. And Miss Lane, the country owes you a debt of thanks.
Thank you. Let this be a lesson to the mob. You? Thank you. Thank you. Read all about it in the newspaper. It's a touching story of a natural-born heroine.
Hi, Patty.
I'm incognito.
I went by the market.
Yeah? A lot of detectives swarming around?
I didn't see any.
Please, playing it cool.
I found a story about a bank robbery.
Yeah? Where?
In the Chronicle.
No, where did it happen?
On Hastings Street.
That's right near the market. I knew it.
According to the story, the robber escaped on foot. Where are you going?
Home to get under the covers. Oh, hi, Mama. Papa.
Hello, dear.
Papa, I need police protection.
Police protection?
The mob is after me.
The mob? Well, I mean, what do you mean? The one of the fraternities at school or something?
No, the mob. M-O-B. Gangsters.
Darling, I think you'd better start at the beginning.
You know that friend I told you about who witnessed the accident?
Yeah.
That was no friend. That was me.
Patty, what was it you saw?
The bank robber who crashed into McDonald's market.
Patty, what makes you think he was a bank robber?
Well, there was a big bank robbery that day, and then this car came crashing around the corner and banged into McDonald's window, and then just took off. Now, what reason would any honest citizen have for leaving the scene of an accident?
I can think of one.
Patty, was there a woman in the car with him?
His ma.
Well, that cleans up a lot of things.
To tell you the truth, I was kind of scared at first. But since I am the only witness, I figure I should testify. But I am kind of young, and I think I should have some kind of protection.
Honey, why didn't you come to us about this?
Well, I thought if I told you, they'd go after you, and I didn't want anybody to hurt you.
You were protecting us.
Yeah.
Oh, Patty. Listen, you don't have anything to worry about. Let me explain. The man who ran into the front of the store was Mr. McDonald's son-in-law. His wife was going to have a baby. That's why he was in such a hurry to leave the scene of the accident. He had to get her to the hospital.
He wasn't a bank robber.
No.
And all this time I've been brave for nothing.
I don't think bravery's ever really wasted. One day it'll come in handy.
I feel like an idiot.
Aw.
I'll get it. As long as I've come out of hiding.
Martin, she was worrying about us.
Yeah. You know what I can't get used to about teenagers? Just when you're ready to give up and write them all off, they come up with something so wonderful that it makes you feel about that small.
Hi, Rich.
Don't stand there in front of the door like that. They might see you.
Oh, I'm not afraid of them.
You're not?
No, they're only a mob. What can they do to me?
Gee, Patty, you're almost as brave as I am. You sure you want to go through with this?
I wouldn't let anything in the world stop me.
And you're not afraid of the danger?
Richard, I thrive on danger.
You sure have hidden depths. For a girl, you're quite a girl.
Thank you, Richard.
Well, I guess with your help, the police will be able to solve that bank robbery. And who knows? It could lead to cleaning up a lot of other crimes. There might even be a big reward in this.
Well, the only reward I want is knowing that I've done my duty. Oh, excuse me.
It might be safe. Oh, why don't you let me get it?
Richard, if they're coming for me, they're coming for me. Relax. Hello?
Hello. Are you Patty Lane?
Yeah.
I'm Detective Don Anderson. May I come in?
Sure.
Thank you.
Right this way.
Thanks.
Oh, this is Richard Harrison. Detective Anderson.
You people don't lose any time, do you?
What can I do for you, Detective?
Well, I'm checking out a rumor that you might have seen an accident in the neighborhood.
And don't say anything that might prove fatal, Patty.
It's all right. You mean the McDonald case?
That's right.
Oh, won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Yes, I saw the whole thing. I was just saying to Mr. Harrison, what good is a witness unless he testifies? Wasn't I, Mr. Harrison?
Yeah, that's what Miss Lane was saying.
At the time the car hit the store, did you happen to notice a man walk past with a paper sack under his arm?
Yeah. I remember thinking that the car was going to hit him if he didn't get out of the way. Poor man, he must have been pretty scared. He ran like a rabbit.
Would you be able to identify him if you saw him again?
Yeah, I think so. He was a little man, with kind of a round face and a funny chin. Why?
That's the man who held up the Brooklyn Heights Bank.
You sure are lucky to have her for a witness. You've never seen such bravery. I mean, no mob is gonna scare her off. No, sir.
Isn't it wonderful that they caught the bank robber?
Kathy, read that part about me again. Patty, I've read it 4 times. I like to hear it. It isn't often you get to bask in the limelight. All right. Police say that the apprehension of the suspect was aided by an unidentified teenager who witnessed his flight. That's the part.
They don't even say whether you were a boy or a girl.
We know I'm a girl.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Rich.
Did you see the paper? You're famous.
Oh, it was nothing. It's just what any other brave American girl would have done.
Then how come it took a squad of police to drag you out from behind those drapes?
Ross, you should be very proud of your sister.
There wasn't even a reward.
There was, as far as I'm concerned.
Thanks, Papa.
Your mother and I would like to sponsor a night on the town for you and Richard. Dinner and a movie and,
Do you hear that?
I have no pride. I'll take it.
Don't you say that.
Gee, I'd better start spending more time hanging around banks.
You better spend more time hanging around books.
Well, I think we'd better be going or we'll be late.
Yeah.
Patty, since when do you need glasses?
I didn't know you were having trouble with your eyes.
I sure am. They're too good. With these on, I can only see what's right in front of my nose. Richard?
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk